A look into Taika Waititi and his work. Taika Waititi was born August 16th, 1975, in Rotorua, New Zealand. He grew up wanting to be an artist or a deep-sea diver, but decided to pursue filmmaking and comedy instead. After graduating from Victoria University with a degree in theater and film, Taika is an astounding director and actor who redefined the comedic genre of film. A lot of the time in films, the directors can never fully handle the juggling act of having an emotional plotline as well as having some comedy. It either feels out of place or slash not appropriate, or is solely concentrated on making you laugh that it drowns out everything else and makes it feel like a underdeveloped movie. But this is something that Taika is fantastic at, as all of his projects come out with a heart-wrenching plot and still makes you laugh. When Taika was 28, he created his first professional film, Two Cars, One Night, which was nominated for an Oscar for Best Live-Action Short Film, which I must say is very impressive for his first try at filmmaking. In 2007, Taika released his first feature film, Eagle vs. Shark, a rom-com about two socially awkward teens finding love. The film did quite well, but Waititi first gained a reputation in Hollywood when he created Boy, a film about an 11-year-old child trying to get to know his criminal father who had only come back to find buried treasure that he had lost. The film was a huge hit in New Zealand, and Waititi was finally recognized as a great director to those who knew of him. After getting a feel for his style of filmmaking, Waititi released What We Do in the Shadows, a satirical documentary or mockumentary about a camera crew following the lives of a group of vampires who are flatmates. In 2016, Hunt for the Wilderpeople was released. It found huge success, becoming the 13th on Rotten Tomatoes' top 100 films of 2016. After the success of Hunt for the Wilderpeople, he was chosen to direct Thor Ragnarok, which to Waititi was a great opportunity to switch things up, as he was concerned he was repeating himself. Waititi's most recent film was Jojo Rabbit, a satirical comedy following Jojo, a 10-year-old boy who lives in Nazi Germany who finds a young girl hiding in his house. Yes, not all films are the same, but when it comes to directors, there's always at least one stylistic thing that lets us know as the viewers who the director is. Taika is no different. One of his trademarks, and my personal favorite, is him acting in his films. Waititi often appears in his films as a fairly important character. His appearances are often as a quirky character who makes the audience laugh. We see this in Alamein in Boy, Viago in What We Do in the Shadows, the Minister in Hunt for the Wilderpeople, Korg in Thor Ragnarok, and he even plays Hitler in Jojo Rabbit. Taika also favors the parental archetype, most frequently being a father figure and his son. This archetype plays a lot into wanting to belong or fit in with this father figure, and this concept of needing to fit in is seen in a lot of his films, as all of them are focusing on a character who's seen as the odd one out. And the last one I'll be discussing is that all of Waititi's features have been comedies, but what sets them apart is the use of emotion. Waititi uses comedy to highlight the emotional aspects of his films. This allows the viewers to have an emotional reaction to the events we see in the film. Because these scenes often highly contrast those before, we see this heavily in Jojo Rabbit, where Jojo is following a butterfly and then finds his mother's shoes and mother hung in the street for helping Elsa. It was a sudden, unexpected, and total tonal shift, a tool used in many of Taika Waititi's films. All of Taika's films have received plenty of attention worldwide. They've received many awards and many nominations. The greatest achievement Taika has reached so far is winning an Oscar for Jojo Rabbit Best Adapted Screenplay, making Taika both the first Indigenous director and more specifically the first Maori director to ever win an Oscar. Taika Waititi has come extremely far as a director over the years. His first TV appearance and one of his first introductions to acting was when he played a surfer in a Marlboro Bar commercial. Despite acting and directing, Waititi believes that his films are just one way of expressing his creativity. He continues to explore this as he is an experienced photographer, artist, and inventor. Waititi has been all over creating films, doing interviews, photography, and even did a TED Talk on why humor is the key to creativity. Both Jojo Rabbit and Hunt for the Wilderpeople explore one of Unit 3's contemporary Indigenous issues surrounding belonging. Both films follow the perspective of people who are searching for belonging in a community that has given them none. Ricky is trying to find belonging with Hector, who refuses to give it to him, and Elsa has been forced into hiding because of who she is. Both of these plotlines parallel the treatment of Indigenous communities worldwide. Whole communities being separated from everyone else and being told that they don't belong by most people. The journeys that Elsa and Ricky face are just like many of the journeys that Indigenous cultures have faced. Where, like Ricky, some communities slowly found belonging, while as in most of the time, they were forced to wait, like in Elsa's case. Taika Waititi speaks all about the importance of expressing creativity. To him, this involves ridiculous film concepts and comedies. Over time, Hollywood has created a disconnect between humor and emotion. Taika brings this connection back using his facial expressions, framing, and sudden tonal shifts to achieve humor and emotion, which is used to a high degree of effectiveness, giving the audience a very powerful reaction to his work. After giving all of his work a look, I've thoroughly enjoyed all of it, but especially Jojo Rabbit.